The thought of you on that bed with... It drives me mad with jealousy.
Xavier's jealous? It all started with a text I never should have sent. I invited Xavier by mistake. He replied instantly, despite not speaking for years.
2 years and this is... what you wear to see your ex-boyfriend.
When the doorbell rang, I realized I was still in my pajamas. Xavier stood there, looking even better than the day I dumped him. He clearly thinks I'm desperate to reconcile, and honestly, seeing him in my doorway at midnight, I'm starting to think he might be right. As he fixed my bed, the atmosphere shifted. Every move he made was a total thirst trap.
Why is Xavier so alluring now? He's not just a male doctor. He's a complete hot guy.
I tried to claim the text was a mistake, but Xavier demanded to know if we were back together.
How did he become such a flirt? Xavier, that text message earlier today was actually sent by mistake. It wasn't meant for you, seriously?
Just as I was about to give in, my brother Carlos burst in, finding his supervisor in my bedroom.
Dr. Jones?
Carlos,
What
are you doing
here?
Xavier misunderstood, thinking Carlos was my new boyfriend. Before I could explain, he blocked me.
Querita, can you stop humiliating me? Let's stop contacting each other in the future.
I couldn't let it end like that. I called him up and laid it all on the line, asking to get back together. But Xavier, the man of high morals, is worried about his reputation and the fact that he's Carlos's supervisor. He thinks it's a crime to love your student's sister.
I admit I like you. But I also have a moral compass. You can't take advantage of my feelings and force me to do something.
I cornered him at the hospital to flirt right in front of Carlos.
I'm not feeling well. The doctor said I need to exercise more with my boyfriend to get better.
My plan worked. Xavier snapped, dragging me aside in a jealous fit over the thought of me with someone else.
Thought of you on that bed with... It drives me mad with jealousy.
I suggested a hotel, but he's acting like I'm making him a secret lover. He's so stubborn.
It seems the hospital really doesn't allow doctors to date colleagues' relatives. He's about to have a secret relationship with me, Xavier. I know that being with me might cause you a bit of trouble, but I really can't deal with Carlos right now. How about after his internship is over, I'll have him transferred to another hospital. I'll book a hotel first, okay?
Then, out of nowhere, he posts a photo of his abs on social media. He claims it was an accident, but I know a thirst trap when I see one. He's clearly trying to lure me back into his orbit, and honestly, those abs are making it very hard to stay mad.
Did he intentionally only post it for me to see?
He finally gave in and kissed me, but then he started spiraling again. He admitted he wants me so bad it hurts, but his conscience is screaming that it's unethical. He's caught between his desire and his white coat, and it's driving us both crazy.
I knew this was wrong and that it's unethical, yet I still want to be with you.
The stress of our secret affair is literally getting to his head. I woke up to find him sleepwalking in my room. It seems being the youngest professor in the hospital and dating his ex on the side is finally taking its toll on his sanity.
If a patient is under excessive long-term life and work stress, it might trigger sleepwalking.
In bed, I asked point blank if we were back together. I expected a confession, but his answer stunned me.
We're already in bed, and he hasn't mentioned getting back together, but instead asks if I want to go home. What's going on? He doesn't want to be with me, does he? Well, Xavier, let me ask you this. What is our relationship right now? Are we boyfriend and girlfriend?
A cold no? After everything we've been through tonight? If he doesn't want to be my boyfriend, then what am I to him? And what kind of dangerous game is he really playing with my heart?
In this secret relationship of ours, do I even deserve that title?
A cold no was all I got. After everything we went through, Xavier still refuses to give me a title. Is this some sick game he's playing with my heart? He acts like a saint at the hospital but keeps me in the shadows. He has the nerve to ask that? He's the one obsessed with his moral compasses, while I'm the one hiding under the covers every time someone knocks.
It's obvious that the guy is just taking advantage of his ex-girlfriend.
I tried to vent to my brother Carlos under the guise of asking for a friend, hoping for some male perspective, but my idiot brother has zero chill. Great. Even Carlos can see I'm being played. He even offered to beat the guy up, not realizing the scumbag in question is his own surgical supervisor. I got sick the next morning, and Carlos sent a photo of my miserable face to Xavier.
Is it serious? Oh, I mean, if it's severe, you could bring her to the hospital to be checked out.
I was too weak to fight back. Little did I know, seeing that photo would send Xavier into a secret tailspin of worry. Despite his no from the night before, Xavier couldn't stay away. He sent me a message wanting to visit, but I wasn't about to make it easy for him.
Didn't you refuse to reconcile just yesterday? Did it take you overnight to realize you should offer me comfort? Why didn't you care sooner? A late apology is worthless. I don't need it. Carlos is a doctor too, and he can take care of me.
I told him Carlos would take care of me. If he wants to be just friends, then he can stay at the hospital and keep his distance. While I was busy pushing Xavier away, Carlos was busy setting the house on fire. He told our father, the dean of the hospital, that some scumbag ex was bothering me.
If you won't tell me, I'll go back and see for myself. Querita is too naive, and she might get fooled again.
My dad, who usually only cares about surgical outcomes, suddenly turned into a protective lion. He was determined to meet this legendary villain. Xavier showed up at my door. When I mocked his fear, he dropped the act and went full alpha.
I'm not afraid of him knowing. I'll wait right here for him to return, kiss you in front of him, and make him watch.
I told him he needed a psychiatric evaluation. This man is either incredibly brave or completely losing his mind over me. The universe has a twisted sense of humor. Just as Xavier was feeding me porridge, the front door burst open. It was my dad and Carlos. The ultimate Solorchan had arrived.
Xavier. You too.
If dad knows, Xavier's finished. I lied and called dad uncle to protect Xavier's promotion. I even got dad to play along.
The hospital is holding elections for vice president now. If Xavier knew his future father-in-law is also his direct superior, he would feel awkward about it. If he successfully gets promoted, people might say he used nepotism. About dad's identity, it's better to keep it secret for now.
Xavier looked utterly confused, but he had no choice but to follow my lead. For now, the secret was safe, but the tension was suffocating. My dad started grilling Xavier about how we met. Seeing the man I love stutter and call me just a schoolmate in my own living room made my blood boil.
That's right. Just friends. So, my dear schoolmate, you finished your sick visit. Didn't you say you had things to do? Why aren't you leaving yet? I shouldn't have expected you to say I was your girlfriend in front of a colleague. You scumbag.
I kicked him out. If he's so committed to being just friends in front of my family, then he can go back to the hospital and be friends with his medical charts. Later, Carlos started gossiping about Xavier's secret girlfriend, who he supposedly dressed up for. As he described the timing, a realization hit me like a lightning bolt.
The time he went on a date. Oh, that was the time you called him over to help me assemble my bed. His face looked so upset then. So he must have been annoyed by his girlfriend. And then you called him to assemble a bed. He must have been so unhappy.
The mysterious woman everyone at the hospital was talking about was me all along. The grumpy doctor actually cares more than he lets on. I decided to reward him by sending him a meal via Carlos. But I couldn't resist a little long-distance teasing through my brother's phone.
How does the meal your girlfriend made taste? Do you perhaps want to taste your girlfriend too?
Watching him struggle in front of my brother was pure gold. Late at night, I video called him and demanded to see his abs as medicine for my fever. He was actually indulging me, looking incredibly hot in his robe, when disaster struck. Carlos saw Xavier on screen. I lied, claiming he was just some internet provocateur. Carlos thinks he found the girlfriend.
Could it be that she is Dr. Jones's never-before-seen girlfriend?
When Carlos told me, I felt like I'd been slapped. I've been playing the secret mistress's role while he's openly hosting another woman? Fuming, I called him repeatedly, but no answer. If he wants to hide, I'll bring the fight to him. I booked a hotel room and sent him the address. I was done with the secrets. It was time for a final showdown. I stormed into the hospital and saw him with her. Before I could scream, Dad appeared.
Xavier, you must explain yourself to me today.
Querita.
Who is she? I'm one step away from a scandal. I braced for a scandal, but Dad gushed about Xavier like he's a saint. He has no idea he's breaking my heart. I watched Xavier play the perfect doctor while a mystery woman was in his office. Dad thinks we're not meant to be. If only he knew the truth. Hearing about Xavier's girlfriend felt like a knife to the gut.
Xavier, let's end things here.
I'm ending this charade now. I blocked him instantly. Blocking him didn't bring peace. He spent the hour checking his phone, wondering why I'd suddenly grown a spine. He looked lost, but I was done being his harbor. He's pathetic, claiming he's protecting me. Xavier's cunning. He sent Carlos to a dinner just to corner me alone. It's a low move, even for him.
Carlos, why don't you go to the dinner this time? Otherwise, if you always use your girlfriend as an excuse to skip gatherings, over time, everyone will start avoiding you.
He's acting so professional, but I know exactly what he's up to. He's clearing the obstacles. He thinks if he can just get me alone, I'll fold like a house of cards. Little does he know, I've built a fortress around my heart since that hospital hallway. Seeing him at the supermarket made my blood boil. He's acting like the victim, stalking me through the aisles. I wasn't in the mood for a reunion.
What happened last time was my fault. I really didn't want to push you away to someone else. But what standing do I have to stay by your side?
He tried to play the I made a mistake routine, but I wasn't buying it. Calling him a scumbag felt better than any therapy session. He thinks a few apologies in a grocery store can fix the fact that he kept me in the shadows while another woman was in his light. Tired of his morals excuses, I couldn't hold back. He forced me into this role, yet acts like I'm the one tormenting him.
Xavier, explain yourself clearly. Who is tormenting whom? I just wanted to have a relationship with you properly. It was you who forced me to be your secret partner.
He tried to shift the blame onto my brother, claiming he couldn't compete with his own student. It's a classic coward move. He's using his professional reputation as a shield to hide his lack of courage. I looked him in the eye and saw a man who was more afraid of a rumor than losing me. A ghost from the past is back. Carly Gill, the woman who chased Xavier for years. And my brother delivered the news, oblivious to my jealousy. I know her well. If Xavier thinks I'll watch them together, he's wrong. Carly acted like she owned the place. When asked if I knew Xavier, I denied everything to his face. The look on Xavier's face was priceless, a mix of shock and pure heartbreak. But Carly, she was practically glowing. She thinks my denial is her green light. Let her think that. I'd rather be a stranger than a secret. I wasn't done. If he wants to be just colleagues, I'll win that game. I publicly announced my new preference for younger men. Calling him an older guy was the ultimate low blow, and I loved every second of it. I could see him bristling, his professional mask finally cracking. He wants to keep us a secret? Fine. Then he can watch me look for someone who isn't afraid to hold my hand in the light. The truth hit me. Carlos was feeding me garbage. Winola is Xavier's sister, not his girlfriend. All that jealousy for nothing. I didn't say a word, I just let my hands do the talking. He deserved every slap. I was so busy being a scorned woman that I almost threw away the best thing in my life. I had to get to Xavier, and I had to do it now. My poor scumbag doctor was probably suffering in silence while I was out for blood. I went to apologize, but he beat me to it, begging for another chance. Seeing him so vulnerable, I realized my power. He really can't live without me. My heart melted, but I made him grovel to prove his worth. We're back, but I'm keeping him on a short leash. I walked out to see if he'd follow, but he just stood there. What a heartbreaker. He thinks he's safe now that the girlfriend rumors are cleared up. He has no idea that Carly Gill is still circling like a shark. If he thinks he can just go back to being the unreachable doctor without giving me a title, he's in for a very rude awakening. I decided to give him a little warning, a reminder to stay in line. I wanted to tell him that Carly doesn't have a chance as long as I'm around. But when I dialed his number, I got the one thing I wasn't expecting. The silence on the other end was deafening. Is he with Carly? His phone is still dead, and that silence is fueling a fire in my chest I can't put out. I spent the whole day wondering if he was behind closed doors with Carly, playing me for a fool while I sat by the phone. If Xavier thinks he can just ghost me after we finally made up, he's got another thing coming. I was spiraling, convinced that my trust was misplaced. Maybe Carly was right. Maybe our relationship wasn't as solid as I desperately wanted it to be. When I cornered him, he didn't look like a cheater. He looked exhausted and broken by my suspicion. His words hit me harder than any argument. Was I the one destroying us? I watched him walk away, feeling a cold dread that I might have finally pushed him too far. After our fight, I tried to drown my guilt in cocktails. Carlos was there being protective, but I wouldn't listen. I ranted about Xavier being a lowlife, a jerk, a man not worth a single tear, while Carlos just shook his head. I told him there wasn't a single good man left in the world, including him. A drunken mess. I called for the man I claimed to hate. When Xavier appeared, I couldn't stay mad. He held me close, his familiar scent finally calming the storm in my head. I let him pull me into a deep embrace, letting all the jealousy and anger melt away. All I wanted was to go home with him. Back at the apartment, the alcohol was still clouding my brain, making me clingy and desperate for reassurance. I wouldn't let him leave my sight, not even for a glass of water. He looked at me with so much tenderness it hurt. When he finally said those 3 words, I felt like I could finally breathe again. He was mine, and I wasn't going to let a misunderstanding take him away. Watching him sleep, I realized the pressure he's under juggling a promotion while keeping us a secret. I promised to be his peace. No more fighting. We'll do this right, even in the shadows. In our bubble of bliss, Xavier admitted his sleepwalking worsened because he's terrified of losing me. Hearing him say that we would never be apart made me feel invincible. We had survived the Kali drama and our own insecurities. Now, we just had to survive my family. Of course, keeping a secret in a hospital full of gossips is impossible. Even my father, the dean, was starting to notice Xavier's strange behavior, though he had no idea I was the cause. I couldn't help but tease Xavier right in front of my dad. The secret thrill of our promises was intoxicating, but I could see the panic in Xavier's eyes as he tried to maintain his professional mask. While I was playing games, my brother Carlos was busy being a snitch. He was convinced I had crawled back to my scoundrel ex and decided to recruit my father for a rescue mission. My dad was furious, ready to hunt down this mysterious ex-boyfriend and save me from a life of misery. He had no idea the scoundrel was his favorite star doctor. We thought we were safe, but the sound of Dad's key in the lock sent us into a panic. My heart nearly stopped. If my dad walked in and saw Xavier Jones sitting on my sofa, our careers and our relationship would be over in a heartbeat. I hid Xavier just in time. I managed to cram him into the closet just as my dad and Carlos burst in. I sat on a cushion trying to look as casual as possible while my heart hammered against my ribs. Carlos was on a mission, convinced there was a mouse in my room. Before I could stop him, he ripped open the closet door, and there was Xavier, looking more like a caught thief than a renowned surgeon. I scrambled for the most pathetic excuse I've ever made, claiming he was just there to fix my broken closet. My brother looked at us like we were idiots, but my dad was too shocked to even speak. Dinner was awkward as Xavier finally connected the dots between his boss, his student, and me. His boss is his future father-in-law.
Oh, right. It's Uncle. Sometimes I speak with a slight accent. What you heard was wrong. Carlos already admitted it, so why does Querita still need to hide our father-daughter relationship from Xavier?
Xavier's world just turned upside down. He finally realized that the strict boss he's been dodging is actually my father. I could see the sweat on his forehead, while my brother Carlos kept babbling about our family ties. I had to scramble for a lie before Xavier's heart stopped right there at the dinner table. I tried to play it cool, but Xavier is too sharp. He caught me changing the title from dad to uncle in a split second, and the suspicion in his eyes was enough to make me choke on my wine. If he finds out the truth now, he might just run out the door and never look back.
Are you using the guise of visiting a patient to secretly hang around your ex-boyfriend?
Zhiqing cornered me, smugly thinking she's caught me trying to reclaim Xavier. I laughed, knowing he spent the night in my closet. Then there's Xavier's sister, Winola. She's a total firecracker who accidentally splashed Zhiqing with water. Instead of just cleaning up, Zhiqing decided to turn it into a tragic drama, throwing herself on the floor like she'd been attacked. Her acting was so pathetic that even the passing nurses were struggling to keep a straight face. I wasn't going to let her play the victim for a second longer. Winola almost blew our secret. Carlos looked back and forth between us, his detective instincts kicking in. Xavier was sweating bullets, and I had to step in before the whole house of cards collapsed. Carlos asked Xavier if he liked someone. I waited to see if he'd finally claim me. Someone he likes, but no girlfriend? I felt a sting of resentment. He's happy to have me in his bed, but too scared to give me a title in front of his student. Frustrated, I'm tired of Xavier's excuses while I play the invisible woman. He's terrified of what people will say, especially my father. It's like he thinks our love is some kind of crime he needs to hide from the world. I decided to give him one last chance. I told him we'd wait until his promotion to vice director was settled. After that, no more secrets, no more hiding. He promised he'd give up everything for me, but I've heard those words before. I just hope he's brave enough to actually do it when the time comes. We're still sneaking around. He's getting better at the secret agent life, but the thrill is starting to wear off. I just want to walk into that hospital holding his hand for once. My aunt Liana is my biggest ally, even if she's a bit dramatic. She's faking chest pains and breathless spells just to force Xavier to keep her in the hospital and to keep us in the same room. She sees right through us, and she's loving every second of the chaos. Zhiqing was fuming, but Xavier had to agree to let Liana stay. Score 1 for the secret lovers. Xavier cleared our schedule by burying Carlos in 3 years of paperwork. Poor Carlos thinks he's being groomed for greatness, but he's actually just being sabotaged so his mentor can spend the night at my place. It's ruthless, but I can't say I hate it. But when I tried to stand up for my brother, Xavier's jealousy flared up. He's actually jealous of the attention I give my own family, calling himself just a secret lover. He's cracking under the pressure. The argument turned into a full-blown crisis. He was begging me not to leave, acting like a lost puppy, but he still wouldn't commit to a real future. He actually suggested we stay secret forever. Forever in the dark? That's not a relationship, that's a prison sentence. I looked at him and realized that his fear of my father might be stronger than his love for me. Carlos is finally starting to see the cracks, ranting to Liana about how Dr. Jones uses women without any commitment. He has no idea he's describing my exact situation. If they find out, our future is over. Liana's eyes were burning into me, and I knew the clock was ticking on our secret. But if the truth is coming out, I'm not going down without a fight. I'm done protecting the man who won't even claim me in public. I looked at Zhiqing right in her smug face and decided to tear down Xavier's perfect image before she could use it against me. Zhiqing was horrified that I dared to speak ill of her idol, but I didn't care. Then Xavier walked in, trying to play the mediator, but his calm face only made me angrier. I called him a hypocrite to his face, right in front of everyone, and for a second, I actually felt a spark of relief, seeing the shock in his eyes. I'm treating him like a stranger.
Dr. Jones, you are a doctor, and I am a patient's family member. From now on, please address me as Miss Lyons.
Carlos hates Xavier, unaware he's the man I was kissing. I let him rant, wondering if we're actually breaking up. Xavier's guilt made him reckless at the team event. He's rambling about us, handing Zhiqing the ammunition to destroy our careers. I walked away, fuming. The tension is at a breaking point. He called me in the crowd, begging for reconciliation in public. He says he can't live without me, but I just want to walk away.
I take full responsibility for everything. Can we just reconcile, please? I can't live without you.
While we were busy with our tragic drama, Winola was playing matchmaker with a heavy hand. She's convinced that locking us in a room together is the only way to force a happy ending. She even had her lackey disable the cameras and lock the doors from the outside, thinking she was doing us a favor. We're trapped in a haunted house with no way out. Xavier tried to act like a protector, but he's the one I'm afraid of. The darkness of the room changed things between us. Without the hospital walls and the prying eyes, Xavier finally dropped the clinical act. He stripped off his shirt and started talking about how every second without me is torment. I wanted to stay mad, but the raw honesty in his voice made my resolve start to crumble. He begged me to get back together, and for the first time in months, he sounded like he actually meant it. He's on probation. He promised sincerity, and I'm giving him one last chance. Outside, Carlos is ready to call the police, convinced Xavier is a scumbag taking advantage of me. Thanks to Winola's lies, Carlos now thinks Xavier is a tragic romantic hero pining for a woman who won't commit. I claimed the bed and left Xavier the chair. I warned him not to touch me, but the tension was thick.
I'm sleeping on the bed tonight and you sleep on that chair. If you dare come over and touch me, I will break all ties with you.
When the lights flickered, I jumped into his arms. For a moment, I forgot why I was even mad. At dawn, I told him I wanted to end it. I'm testing if he'll finally fight for me. The morning light didn't bring the end I expected. It just showed me how much of a mess we both are. I was testing him, waiting to see if he'd finally have the guts to fight for us. But looking at his desperate face, I was the one who couldn't let go. I decided to stop the games and just say it. His reaction was like I'd just handed him a miracle. The great Dr. Jones was actually grinning like a fool. Finally, after all the hiding and the fighting, we are officially back on. I had to confirm it twice because he looked like he was going deaf from pure shock. I told him straight up, he's my boyfriend now. He's dreaming about it, but he's also terrified. The reality of our secret romance is already starting to weigh him down. Xavier's worrying already. Gossip PowerPoints? He's clearly spent too much time in hospital administration. He wants to wait a month until the elections are over to go public. He looked at me with that melting gaze and promised to take the hit for us. He's trying to be my shield, even when he's the one in the line of fire. I told him he needs to believe in himself as much as I do. In that moment, the drama felt miles away. It was just us, and he wasn't overthinking. It's my happiness too, Xavier. If only we could stay in this bubble forever. Xavier's sleepwalking is back, and this time he's a knight in a fantasy epic. He's adorable when he's unconscious, but he was looking for a golden chain to fight off dragons. I should have known where this was going. Before I could stop him, my knight decided that the best way to protect his princess was to make sure she couldn't run away. He actually started tying me up. I was literally bound by a sleepwalking doctor. It's sweet in a twisted way, but I'm starting to think our secret life is taking a toll on his sanity. I tried to play along with his devotion, but the situation was spiraling awkwardly. Cute only goes so far when you're tied to a bedpost. I had to wake him up before things got even weirder. At the hospital, Carlos started digging for info, and Xavier almost blew our cover. Xavier thought I'd blabbed, but Carlos was just guessing. I had to jump in before he confessed to a crime he hadn't even committed yet. Convinced he was caught, Xavier offered Carlos compensation. It was painful to watch. Carlos is completely clueless. He thinks Xavier is just apologizing for some mystery girl. The irony is, he's actually starting to feel sorry for the man who's dating his sister behind his back. To get Carlos off our trail and steal a moment alone, I had to get creative. I faked a medical emergency that no brother wants to hear about. The period card worked like a charm. Carlos backed off, and I got my private consultation with the doctor of my choice. Behind closed doors, Xavier became a total softie, faking a sore arm for attention. He's such a smooth talker when he's not worrying about gossip PowerPoints. I'm starting to think he enjoys the thrill of this secret as much as I do. Jealousy is the side effect. When Carlos got praised, Xavier had to flex his own credentials. He's literally bragging to a student just to prove he's the alpha. It's petty, it's arrogant, and honestly, it's kind of hot. Our luck almost ran out when Carlos barged into the office while I was still there. I had to dive under the desk like a common thief while Xavier tried to act natural. I hid by his feet. I crawled out, ready to scold him, but he just gave me that smug look. He's getting too good at this secret lover thing. I had to get out of there before Carlos came back with more questions. I thought we were safe, until Carlos came up with an insane theory about Xavier. Carlos thinks Xavier is hitting on him. If I don't come clean, this misunderstanding will become a disaster. My brother's imagination is truly a disaster. He actually thinks Xavier is hitting on him. I told him he's crazy, but he's already spit half his drink on my face in shock. How much longer can we keep this lie going before the whole hospital starts believing Carlos's wild theories? He won't listen. He thinks he's uncovered some dark hospital secret, and I'm just the naive sister who doesn't see the truth. Xavier even reminded him to cover up with a blanket so he wouldn't catch a chill. He was just being thoughtful, but Carlos looked like he was being harassed by a ghost. Carlos's face went pale. He actually asked Xavier if he was crossing a line. I swear, my brother's narcissism is reaching clinical levels. Xavier, stop. You're being too nice. He's offering to introduce Carlos to girls to help his relationship issues, but my brother thinks it's a test of his loyalty. See? To a normal person, that's a mentor. To Carlos, that's a predator waiting for him to be single. He's so spooked he's ready to run home in the middle of his shift. The next day, Carlos came to me with his evidence. He thinks Xavier's academic master's degree and published papers were just a way to show off his personal charm to him. I told him straight to his face. Self-obsession is a disease. But he just kept going, listing every luxury car Xavier supposedly showed off to impress him. To fight back, Carlos decided he needed to prove he was strictly into women. His genius plan? Take a photo of my wristwatch to post on social media as proof of a date. I let him take the photo just to shut him up. Little does he know, Xavier was just texting me, asking if he could come over because Carlos was supposed to be working late. Xavier got jealous. Being in a secret relationship is exhausting. One minute I'm managing a delusional brother, and the next I'm soothing a sulking doctor. I told Carlos we're back together, but he didn't believe me. He thinks Xavier is just using me as a shield to hide his true feelings for him. My brother's brain should be studied by science. The drama followed us to the hospital ward. Xavier brought soup for my aunt, trying to be a good partner, but Carlos treated it like a declaration of war. Carlos is suspicious. Carlos actually threatened Xavier's career. He told him that if he wants to be the vice director, he better stop harassing him. The irony is killing me. Xavier is being so patient, but I can see him reaching his limit. He's being blackmailed by a man who thinks a bowl of soup is a romantic gesture. Xavier apologized just to keep the peace. I felt so guilty. I had to rush him out of there before Carlos said something even more humiliating. I can't let Xavier suffer like this just because my brother's an idiot. I had to take drastic measures. I went to my father, the hospital director, and convinced him to separate Carlos and Xavier. I told him Carlos was going to embarrass the hospital. Dad agreed. Now Xavier can work without Carlos breathing down his neck. Jiqing tried to claim I'm having an affair with my father. Xavier didn't believe her. He offered to resign just to protect my reputation. He's willing to throw away his future for me, while I'm still hiding behind my father's shadow. Even after being moved out of the office, Carlos still thinks Xavier is obsessed with him. He thinks Xavier ghostwrote his internship report out of love. I told him to see a psychiatrist, but he just thinks I'm under some kind of spell. The only spell I'm under is the one where I'm related to the world's biggest fool. At the celebration, a drunk Carlos warned Xavier to stay away in front of everyone. He's making a complete fool of himself, and Xavier is just standing there, trapped in the circus. I need to get there before this turns into a physical fight. Jiqing tried to lead Xavier away, but his sister blocked her while Carlos kept shouting. Xavier is in trouble, Jiqing is circling like a vulture, and my brother is a drunken mess. How am I supposed to fix this without revealing everything and causing a hospital-wide scandal? Our secret is hanging by a thread, and I'm the only one left to pull it back from the edge.
Xavier was in trouble, and I was racing against time to fix the mess Carlos started. But when I got to the hospital, I found Jiqing already there, circling like a vulture and pouring her heart out while trashing my reputation. She actually thought her years of obsession gave her the right to judge me. Thankfully, Xavier didn't even let her finish before showing her exactly where she stood. Jiqing wouldn't take a hint, so Xavier finally decided to clean house. Watching her get kicked out like trash was the only satisfying moment in this entire circus, but the real storm was brewing right around the corner. Victory felt hollow as I saw Xavier's face.
Xavier, what's wrong?
He was burning up with a fever, yet all he could do was whisper my name. I felt like a coward for keeping him in the shadows for so long. Xavier tried to tell the truth, but Carlos had already hallucinated a different reality. He's shouting about harassment while Xavier is just trying to be his brother-in-law. Before I could even open my mouth to explain, Carlos went full caveman. He didn't want the truth, he wanted a villain to punch. My brother was busy defending his honor by assault, and Xavier just stood there and took it because he felt he deserved the pain for loving me. While Carlos plotted a public execution, Xavier was ready to give up everything to protect me. He was offering me an escape, but I knew that running away wouldn't stop the poison Jiqing and Carlos were about to pour into the hospital's reputation. On the day of the announcement, Carlos and Jiqing were determined to destroy Xavier. My own brother was standing in front of my father, the hospital director, trying to ruin the career of the best man I've ever known. When the lies failed, Jiqing dragged my name through the mud to destroy Xavier. She thought she was revealing a scandalous affair, but all she did was set the stage for the biggest backfire in hospital history. I couldn't stay silent while they treated our love like a crime. I walked into that room and dropped the truth bomb that finally silenced the circus. Carlos is just my brother. Jiqing's reign ended with a trip to the police station. Nobody messes with my man.
That's impossible. You're actually Mr. Lyons' daughter. Querita, why do you get everything good? Why should you?
Her screams were just background noise as I finally stood openly by Xavier's side. The secret was out, and for the first time, I could breathe. Xavier's the vice director now.
Carlos, you should be grateful that there are no scars left on Dr. Jones's handsome face. Otherwise, I would let you taste my fist. All right.
What secrets still hide?